I'm Jennie McCafferty with Michigan Golfer. We're at beautiful, historic Washtenaw Golf Club. And with us is Donna Hatch, who's the director of pretty much everything here, but officially sales and marketing. Tell us a little bit about how you first got involved with Washtenaw Golf Club.
I actually started at the Polo Hills Golf and Country Club.
Oh, okay.
In 2008. And when that company decided to purchase Washtenaw Golf Club, I was part of that company still. So then we ended up with two beautiful properties, two distinctly different golf courses, which opened up a lot of opportunities for our members, because we at that time were completely private. And then in 2017, that's when we went public, so to speak. And at that time in let me back up. We purchased Washtenaw Golf Club in 2010. And I say we meaning because I was with the other company as well. And in 2010, I was at that time the merchandiser in the golf department. So I worked in both places and traveled both back and forth.
Oh, wow.
And then in 2012, because business was growing and we had two established properties with our membership and doing outside events and everything in between, they needed help. So at that time, then I moved over to the sales department. I worked my way up. In 2018, when Polo Fields actually was purchased by somebody else, and the same company owned Washtenaw Golf Club, I had the opportunity to come over here and move up in the position that I'm in now. And so I came over, and it's been great ever since. So and we do pretty well here. So.
Yeah. Well, you're responsible for so many events, different kinds of events, but one of the most visible ones is weddings. In fact, we came by one the other day. About what it takes to attract an event like a wedding.
The wedding business is interesting. We have a gorgeous property here, and couples are looking for a lot. The distance that years ago, it kind of goes in a cycle. They are looking for before in a radius of like 20 minutes. Now the radius has changed to an hour or over that. So wow. So we get a lot of people that aren't just local. Brides are looking for what they're looking, a theme, a feel, and we kind of have a hidden gem here. And with our history being of 125 years old, there's a lot of character here. So the willows, the bridges, the water, it's a huge attraction, and the property itself is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So
yes, it is. Because we live nearby, so we have a chance to come here and eat twice a week at least. So that brings me to food. The food itself is quite remarkable. Can you mention some things about that?
I pay tribute to that to our staff. We have had the pleasure of having great chefs here to begin with. We as directors and all departments cross over very well. That includes our kitchen, both the chef and the staff, our hourly staff as well. And between our chef and our food and beverage director, they work well together in seeing, both what's economical, and what people are, passionate about, and knowing our demographic. Once you know your demographic, then you're going to be successful.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Well, it's interesting because the owners, Dave Kendall, Steve Davis, and Nick Mao have all known each other for a really long time. And you're fitting into that whole situation.
Well, I believe that you guys, when you interviewed Dave had said when he took the property over that he wanted to, so to speak, blend in with us, the staff here,
Okay.
which is always interesting. Yes,
Yeah.
which is always interesting coming from a owner to, you know, his directors and managers and then hourly staff.
I'll also have to comment in terms of what Nick does besides teach people how to play. You're involved with the food here, and we probably come a couple times a week just because the food is so good. How did you come by that talent?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for enjoying our food. I hope every other golfers in the guests do the same, feel the same. So I just got lucky with my staff, and my staffs are just wonderful. They have great experience in the food business, and they put their 110% every time they make a food, which is great, right? So again, it's not me really per se, it's our staff that did all the work, and they provide a wonderful food for all the golfers and the guests. So I am lucky as you are. Let me put it that way.
And with that being said, I always like to share with interviews or tours that I have with my clients that out of 99 charter members, out of that first year in 1899, I say that very strongly. I'm like, imagine 1899.
Yeah.
11 were women.
Yeah.
Washtenaw has had a huge following of ladies through the years and had built up clear through, which is why I'm blessed to have some of the features that I have here because of those 11 women. So I would say we're pioneers here.
Yeah, in fact, that probably has just more than a little bit to do with the fact that food is such a huge part of it.
Huge. I digressed, yes. Back to the food. We do a really good job, like I said. We have a good following, and the chef does a really good job, like I said, on showing features, what's happening during the week, and keeping it with the demographic and knowing what people eat when they eat it. You know, it's the responsibility of our daily operations, which is, you know, the opposite, the middle end of kind of what I don't do. But they do a really good job of keeping it moving too. You know, you have a golf course and people want that pace of play is incredibly important, and they try to keep everybody moving so no one's angry.
Well,
Yes.
you mentioned the demographic a couple of times.
Yes.
Can you describe that?
Yes, because we are historic and 125 years, the demographic is interesting. We have an older following, and as well as a younger and up and coming demographic that do golf here. They have events here.
Not only a loser, you're a slow pay.
We survived today, didn't we? No rain, thank you. It was a beautiful day. Thanks, Brian. I want to welcome everybody, first of all, to our fourth annual Washtenaw Golf Club Charity Classic. It honors Folds of Honor. This is our fourth year, so we try to get better each year. So appreciate each and every one of you for participating. Because of that history, we have a lot of former members that are season pass holders. We have a lot of members, former members that come and dine on Wednesday evenings that are older. I mean, we're talking anywhere from 70 to in their 90s. Some have lost spouses. Some of those spouses I actually have done a celebration of life for.
Oh, wow.
And in those celebration of lives, there's always people that pop up that have a history here. I met a gal for a celebration of life, and she actually had her family was the original deed holder to this property.
Wow.
And I'm talking before the golf course actually was even existed.
Kidding.
Yes.
So we're talking 1897 or something.
We're talking probably then, and she was actually born on the property. That's how she started off. So she had, and I was perplexed. I'm thinking, what hole did you have, where were you born on? She said, no, it was before it was even a golf course.
Wow.
So this property has that history and that draw. I mean, we meet caddies, and every story is important, and the history is important, and it all just goes back to the brand. So we're the third oldest golf course. We're a hidden gem, and that's our brand.
I think the fact that it went back and forth between Washtenaw Country Club, Washtenaw Golf Club, a couple of times, had a little bit of effect on the confusion. And it took people a while to realize, I can play here.
I agree. I think that in the spirit of trying to not be confusing, the vision was to move towards a public golf course because of the fact that there's so much competition for private spaces, especially in the Michigan area, and especially in this area close to us in Washtenaw County. And with that being said, the teetering back and forth between golf club or country club, I don't think either way would have been a bad thing, but they didn't want to give the impression that country club meant exquisitely private, because that's not where we were.
Right.
With the hope that possibly we could get that way down the road. But again, future is, we just have a lot of competition. But we just know we're here. They've done a really good job of, managing and owning the property and doing all of those amazing things, from my end of the building with events and everything non-daily to all of daily operations and outside.
Oh, that's a lot. What happens in the winter?
It's interesting. I get that question a lot from everyone in the golf industry, where they think that if they contact me that I am not in because I should not be here because it's winter, which is interesting because that's actually when I get busy.
Yeah.
So I am here all year round. Events happen all year round. The golf course, even though sometimes it may close, it's probably closed maybe once, 1 week, 2 weeks, weather dependent. But I am here, and that's when it's engagement season. And so engagement season starts November through February. So then we're at it again. So it's just a really long cycle of, the events happen. For daily operations, things settle down. It should, because they're so hyped.
Yeah.
They're always busy on it. My schedule's a little bit more regimented than everybody else's. I am very privileged with that I don't have that rigorous schedule, but I'm consistent as far as when I'm here and those things.
But you mentioned the cycle, and it's kind of interesting because you're probably always either planning an event or having an event.
Both, yes, all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's nonstop, 365 days out of the year. If we can do it, we're going to do it. And that's just the understanding of doing events, that they don't stop, even though the golf course might have snow on it.
Yeah.
I very well can be very big with having a huge event on part of the other side of the building. So, there are slower months than others. That's just because of holidays too. So, there are some trends. But I mean, we've done a wedding in January, February, you name it. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, let's take an event, probably a wedding. What are some of the things, some of the details that go into planning and overseeing an event like that?
Clients tend to start with me and end with me. I say that because I work with clients anywhere from 2 years to 3 months and this is only weddings. So I've had weddings plan themselves way far out. Again, everything depends on kind of the economy and those cycles of how couples are doing things. You have to pay attention to those things. But it's a long process, and we go through it together. I am with them clear through the day of, and then the staff takes over, and I have my wonderful food and beverage director. I've got my wonderful banquet manager. Our hourly staff is amazing, and that's one area that we have always been successful in keeping and maintaining people that want to work for us.
You just caused another question, which is, there's a banquet director and
Food and beverage director and banquet manager.
What are the differences in their jobs?
So you will be speaking to Ryan Pfeifer sometime along the way.
Phyllis Barone, Michigan Golfer TV. We're here with Ryan Pfeifer, who is the food and beverage director at Washtenaw Country Club.
Yeah, Washtenaw is a 18-hole championship course located in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And we are recently under new ownership this year. We're associated with the Kendall Golf Academy, which is based out of Miles. And our new ownership is Nick Ma and Dave Kendall, who are both PGA professionals that come with a long time background in the golf industry. Not only do we have golf, but we're a full service banquet facility, as well as have a grill bar open for the golfers all year round, and have a wonderful access to banquets, weddings, and all sorts of events.
Yeah.
And Ryan oversees food and beverage. So he oversees banquets and he oversees daily operation.
Okay.
Okay. He works in conjunction with the kitchen. I work in conjunction with everybody here. And my banquet manager is the one that oversees the events.
Okay.
So they will run them. They will be the point person that when my client needs to go to them, they know what they need before they need it.
Wow. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's not only a lot of people to keep up with, it's a lot of things they're doing to keep up with.
A lot of detail.
Yeah.
Everything is in the detail. A detail can make an event or break an event.
So you mentioned details. What's an example of a detail that can make an event?
With weddings especially, it's paying attention to the client's vision. Vision is huge, understanding them. And again, when you work with someone for a long period of time, if you're good at what you do, you can kind of see what they expect from you. So we tend to go above and beyond. There was a time where I've had a client who it was a groomsman, and he ripped his the seam in his suit. They were getting ready to go outside, and I ended up trying to fix the situation in the moment and managed to do it so it wouldn't be shown in the pictures. The rest of it didn't matter because those pictures are incredibly important. So, because you're going to stare at those for a lifetime and pick that out.
Was that tape or
So
needle
it
and
was
thread?
tape actually and safety pins.
Oh.
So there was another time where a gentleman didn't know how to tie his bow tie. Neither did I, but luckily I happened to have a wonderful experienced server that had worked here for a while, and she was able to tie his bow tie. We've had numerous examples of that. It's just those small things that they remember.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
And those small things that they, that can actually also change the trajectory too. We don't have a lot of those though, because if you pay attention to all of the details in the vision, we're pretty good at making things as smooth sailing as possible. So
you can anticipate it more so than the client can.
yes.
Yeah.
And I always remind my clients that what they think is detrimental and stressful, only they know. No one else in their guest parties know any of that. So.
Okay, so the whole idea is to put them at ease.
Yeah. Exactly.
What's your favorite part about your job?
I love people. Doesn't matter who it is. I learn from everybody that I meet. Even if they have a grievance, you just have to listen. So it's all in listening and trying to talk them off the ledge, as I always say. And it's trying to solve a problem. Is the grievance something that we did? Is it something that's perceived? And in figuring that out, then you can accommodate as best as you can.
So it's a way to really get to know people,
Yes.
a lot of people, and
Yes.
really well sometimes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know some things I probably don't want to know about people, but because I love and I find them interesting, yes.
Well, you sound like the perfect person for a really demanding job. Donna, it's been fun talking with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Washtenaw is a third oldest course in Michigan. It provides a great challenge for these kids, and we've seen a lot of good shots, and we're excited for a great final round today.
The GAM has had several tournaments here in recent years. What is it do you like about coming back to Washtenaw Golf Club?
Yeah, I think it's the course. It's a really great classic, a traditional golf course. It makes you hit a lot of different shots. It makes you think. It's not the longest course, so if you can think your way around, hit some good shots, safe shots off the tee, put yourself in position, you can get some scores. But I think most importantly, it's the staff, it's the ownership that's friendly and able to work with us and be able to accommodate all these junior golfers and their parents and families.
We really like this one because you only have to swing this one wrong one time.
and learn how to make a perfect swing. This club gives instant feedback as the club head bounces off your head, which is the #1 reason we recommend the optional crash helmet. What are they going for? $19.99, but wait.
There's more.
I'm going to try and hit a straight shot with a crooked club. If you need a picture, this is the one. This is the money shot, right? All right, here we go. This will send us to the semifinal shot in our show. Okay. You can't hit a ball any straighter than